have a job, but you are looking, so you can set those parameters to let them know where you're at in the job search process. You can also indicate what you're looking for. Are you looking just for internships and you only want to be notified about internships? You can stipulate internships or part-time or full-time, and the cities that you're wanting to work at. And then any roles or industries that are of particular interest to you as you're searching for jobs. And that will help target it even further as employers are searching the database. And then your personal information, so your primary address that's put in there is your UVU address. That is locked. You can't change that, but you can add an additional email. I know from your settings page, if you wanted to add an additional email, you can do that in the settings page. But this personal information section lets you include any other information you may want known, such as your hometown location. You can indicate your pronouns if you would like, and you can stipulate if you want employers to see your pronouns and if you want students to see them. So if you check it, then that will allow them to see those. If you don't, they won't. And then your demographic info. So if you want to put in your gender, your race, you can, but employers won't see that. Only staff here will be able to see that. The employers would not be able to see that particular information. Okay, skills. Your skills section, this is a nice way to indicate any specific skills you might have that might be relevant to the type of employment that you're looking for. So all you would do is just click on skills. There's a sampling of them there that you can just click on, and then it will add it at the top of the skills section as your skills. And you can go in and add more skills. If none of those fit you very well, you can go in and type in specific skills that you have that you want to add to that. But essentially you would just go in and you would just check, oh, I have these skills, and see how it adds it up there to your skills section. And then your documents. So documents are important because this is where you can upload your resume, your cover letter, if you want to upload transcripts. You can add all of those here, and it will show, right now it shows I have one document in the system, okay? And the nice thing about this is you can upload it here, and this is what it will look like. So it shows different types of documents that you might want to upload. It shows that I have a resume uploaded in there. I don't have it visible right now, but one thing you can do is, let's say for instance, you want to come meet with a career counselor to have a resume review. So you would upload your resume into Handshake, just like this, but you wouldn't have to make it visible because you're not quite ready for an employer to see it yet. But it would allow us counselors to be able to pull it up and review it, go over it with you. And then once you get that resume finalized the way you want, then all you have to do is just click that visible, and it becomes visible on your profile that employers would be able to access it and review it. So it makes it really nice. But this is kind of how it looks when you pull it up. So there's a resume. This is just, I just created a sample. That of course is not my actual resume, but this is what it'll look like in there in the system. So it can be downloaded by the employer to look at it further. You can also use it to help build your profile. So you can click this little button, Build Profile from Resume, and that will help fill in some of your profile information on your profile screen. But you would just want to make sure you double check it and tweak it because it may not transfer everything over perfectly or in perfect format or the way you want it. But so you would just want to make sure you double checked on that, okay? Or if you decide, you know what, this resume is awful, I don't even want it in the system, then you can just go in and delete it, and then it's gone. All All right, and then your journey, my journey. So what this is a great place to put maybe your elevator pitch, highlight your achievements, highlight some key skills of who you are and what you're looking for, what you want, okay? So all you would do is just type it in there. I would say make it like an elevator pitch. This is where you can really help sell yourself. I am currently a student in accounting, you know, set to graduate, da 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 da. These are some key things you've done, so maybe some key knowledge, maybe some key experiences you've had. You can put that in there. And you can look up online sample elevator pitches, sample me in 30 seconds, just to kind of see some ideas of how people have written out those types of introductions, because you do want this to be a professional introduction to really sell what you could bring to an employer and what you would have to offer them. Okay, your education. So Utah Valley University is already in there. It's locked in because that is where you are a current student of. And so with these, you can expand them and add more information. So if you click on the school name, you see Utah Valley University is already in there. But then right here, you can put in your education level as to what you're pursuing. Are you pursuing associates, bachelor's, whatever degree you're pursuing, you can put that in there. You can put in your time period, when you started, when you're planning to end, or if you graduated, you can put in that end date to show that you are now graduated. You can indicate your major here. And so there's a list, and it's when you're in the scroll down, you're not seeing everything, but you can go in here. So if you're not seeing your major in that list, all you have to do is go in here and type it in, and it will help look for it to find it. And then you can just click on it because it'll bring up different boxes there. So if I were to put in, let's say, okay, so it brings in clinical mental health counseling, or this went to, so if I put in design, then you can see different elements of design that come up, and you'd be able to pick which one applies to you with your major. Okay. And then a minor if you have it. And then you can also put in your GPA, your department GPA, your cumulative GPA if you want. And you can even stipulate if you want to hide it from employers or not. So if it's checked, it would hide it from employers. If it's not checked, they would be able to see what your GPA is. And then if you need to add an additional school, like for me, for instance, I got my master's at University of Phoenix. So I did add school, and then I was able to enter in that school's information. Okay. So that's all you have to do there is click add school, and then you can enter in that school name and that information. But I was able to do that and put in that name, what my degree was, when I graduated, find my major. So that way if you have multiple schools, maybe you got a degree somewhere else, and you want that to show on this profile, you can add that in. And then this bottom section allows you to put in any additional information, you know, your work and volunteer experience. So that is where some people will just copy and paste from their resume, their different work experience. Or if you want to put additional information in there about your work experience that maybe you can't fit on a resume, you can do that too. So it gives you a little bit more space to expand on your experience. I would still use bullet points because that makes it easy to read, easy to find the information, and if an employer were to be looking at that. And then you can also indicate any organizations where you may have done any extracurricular activities. You can put in relevant courses that you've taken. So if you're going for a job and you're looking at going, wow, I took this course, this course, and this course that relate really well to this job, you can go in and put that in there. And so then, you know, an employer can look at that and see, oh, wow, they're in this program, they've already taken these types of classes that relate really well to this industry. That's just another perk to add. And then if you've done any specific projects, so if you are in a major where you create a portfolio of work, you maybe have a website where you have your work posted, you can put that information in there under the project section to be able to showcase some of the projects that you've done within your major and to show a potential employer things that you've already done, things that you know how to do. So that can be a really nice feature to add in there as well, is with the projects. Okay, so that is the profile and how to complete the profile. Is there any questions about anything on that with the profile? What I like about it is pretty user-friendly. Makes it really easy to go in, update it. So just make sure that once you do get it done, that periodically you are going in if there have been changes. So if you've changed your major, you'll want to go in and change it on Handshake because it won't automatically change to your new major. So you want to go in and make sure you're updating that. And like I said, updating your school year. If you've got a new job that's not reflected on here, you'll want to go in and put that in. So just be mindful of, you know, this is a living document, so to speak, that you'll just want to make sure you keep it updated. And the more updated it is, the better it's going to work for you as you are looking for jobs and internships and having employers find you as well as they're doing searches. So keeping it updated is really important and really key. And then it's going to help too as you are looking for jobs and events. So jobs is located over here where you can put in search words with, you know, keywords of the industry you're in, maybe a particular employer you're interested in and you want to see if they have anything coming up. You can utilize that and that's really nice. And then you can also filter it by location where you want to work. If you're wanting an internship or a full-time job, you can put those parameters in as well and it will bring that up. It also has this information here about how well you match a particular job, you know, with key things that they're looking for, right? So that, if your profile's updated, then that's going to help that to be more accurate as well to see if this is a fitting job for your requirements. And then you can also look up events. So this is nice to see what events are coming up here at UVU. So you can do a full search to see just overall what's coming up, everything. Or you can look at it by this week, what's coming up this week that might be of interest to me, what's coming up this month. Or maybe I just want to look at career fairs that's coming up. And we have our CNI fair next week. Are you guys familiar with that or aware of that? Okay. Okay, so it's the career and internship fair. So we have a lot of employers coming. It's going to be next Thursday. And so if you look, you click on it, you can see some information about the career fair, location, time, some good tips for it. But what's really nice too is you can click this all employers right here and see a list of the employers who have registered to attend this career and internship fair. So you can go through this list and see what employers you might really want to talk to. And I would say go through that, make a list of employers that you want to make sure you talk to, and maybe a separate list of, hey, if I have time, then I want to hit these as well, but these are my really targeted ones. And then that will help you as you come to the CNI fair to really focus your efforts. You know exactly who you want to meet with beforehand. So this makes it really nice and to see who might fit with your industry and what you're looking for. Okay. All right, so that is all the information I have. Any questions over anything with the profile, jobs, events, Handshake in general?
Yeah, with the creating a separate portfolio. I know there's a portfolio section in UVA's website, but is there a third-party site that's also we recommend using?
For your portfolio?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not well versed in the portfolios, but I would maybe talk to your professor
Okay.
To see what recommendations they might have in terms of, you mean where to upload your portfolio or store your portfolio? Is that kind of what you're looking at? Yeah, I would check with your professor to see what maybe professionals in your industry use that you could get connected with.
Okay, awesome. Cool.
All right, well, if there aren't any other questions, thank you so much for coming, and hope you gained some good information to go build your Handshake profile. We hope to see you at the CNI Fair next week.
Cool, thank you.